Hi, so this is the end of my first full week, or first 7-day week. So not a working week. This is actually the end of my first 7-day week following my last radiotherapy treatment. So I'm actually 7 full days. No, that's not true. Actually, I'm now I'm now 9 days on from the radiotherapy. And I think quite clearly I am in a much better place. I've had a very interesting 9 days because I was intrigued and I had so many questions about what does recovery look like, what does it feel like, how does it go, am I going to be in more pain? I was told that, the radiation in my body escalates or peaks, for the first week or two after radiotherapy. In that case, the side effects are going to get much worse, etc. But people peak in different ways. What did it mean for me? I think ultimately is all I can talk about. So I had all I know is I had a full dose of radiation. I think what I learned actually right towards the end of my radiotherapy was that I had different doses on different days. I think on Fridays potentially I had bigger doses, which makes sense because Saturday and Sunday obviously wasn't going in for treatment. But if that is the case, so my last day was my full dose. And I think for the next few days, I felt pretty heavy and pretty, full on with the side effects I was getting, the throat, the sores, the mucus, the mucosis. As if you've been listening to this podcast, you'll know that I didn't get it as bad as a lot of people do, the side effects in the radiotherapy. However, it's all relative, and my journey still wasn't nice. And ultimately, throughout the first week, so up until last Friday, so up until the 7th day after my radiotherapy, things that definitely were peaking. I felt that things were peaking. The side effects were worse. I just felt more ill, if I'm honest. So radiotherapy ill. If you're going through radiotherapy, maybe you can understand that comment. But just not great. I started to get headaches. My skin started to blister on my face. I got some cuts, or beyond sores actually. My girlfriend calls them cuts, behind my ear, on where my ear joins my face, and actually inside my ear. So I've got a tip for everybody. If you're using Flamigel, I really highly recommend you put some Flamigel as far inside your ear as you can. Because the radiation does obviously go as far into your ear, it does go reach into your ear, and ultimately my ears have been bleeding now. It's scabbing now and getting better, but ultimately they were bleeding for 3 or 4 days, and I was lucky because I only started to get sores around my ear in the very last week of my radiotherapy. So a tip for anyone who's not been through radiotherapy yet and you're using Flamigel or any other protective radiotherapy cream, don't forget every part of your ear, the crease behind your ear, the crease where your ear meets the back of your head, every crease of where your ear meets the front of your face or the side of your face, and really inside your ear, as I say, because I think ultimately I ended up with some blisters in there, radiation blisters, sores, cut, and bleeding, and what have you, which was not nice. I think really only as of yesterday I would say that started to get better, started to look better, feel better, and not weep and continue to bleed as it has done. So in myself though, I think the peaking went on through the first week up until Friday, and then I woke up on Friday and I thought, shit, I feel quite good. But I didn't want to get my hopes up too high. I didn't want to think, oh my God, this is potentially me getting back to normal. So I didn't get too excited, but I did, notes that I felt good, and I did try and do a bit more that day, actually, on the basis that I felt good. I thought, I'm going to try and exert some, I seem to have more energy. I seem to be less fatigued. So I thought, right, let's see how I do on Saturday. And yesterday, well, again, I woke up again, just feeling even better. And I even went and did a bit of retail therapy. I actually went shopping. Don't get me wrong, went shopping after an hour. I was done. I was absolutely ready to leave. I went to TK Maxx in Hayes, bought a few bits, and we came out of there. I was like, come on, let's go on to H&M. No, Nick, my girlfriend, was like, no, we're going home. It was too much. But ultimately, it was nice to get out. I had to cover my face and neck. So ultimately, the area that I've been treated, it's really essential I keep it out of the sun, certainly at these early stages and for some time after treatment as well. So my sister, bless her, has gone and bought me some caps and hats. Thank you, Hayley. I'm really grateful for that. And I'm going to actually make some, so where I've got these hats, or with the plan is with some baseball caps, I'm going to then sew on some fabric. So I've got a black baseball cap, I'm going to get some black fabric, white baseball cap, white fabric, etc. If you get the picture, guess what colour it will be if it's a blue cap? Yes, blue fabric. And I'm going to sew that onto the back of the cap, so and to the slightly to the sides and to the back of the cap, so that I can protect my face and neck from the sun, which is integral. You know, coming into the summer season, everyone's going to want to sit outdoors. I don't want to be the only guy sitting indoors, so I've got to, you know, get some headwear basically that's going to protect me and allow me to socialise and be a part of what's going on. So that's will be interesting. So my hat collection starts now. So look, I'm here 9 days on from radiotherapy, feeling so much better. Every day feeling better. I'm really starting to think I can start moving on with my life. I had a catch-up call with my head of HR on Friday. That was an interesting call. You know, I think I've got some work to do in terms of overcoming my fears with regards to fate. I have any fears, actually. How do I put this? I think I've got some work to do in overcoming how I handle face-to-face meetings. There is a change to my appearance. My mouth has dropped on the left-hand side. It's currently quite swollen still, so that is going down. But ultimately, my mouth looks quite distorted. Now, I'm in sales, business development, new business, and I work with C-level people in major companies around the globe. Now, I expect these people to be quite empathetic and sympathetic, but the reality is the corporate world is a tough one. And sometimes if people don't like what they see, they don't want to deal with it, and that could be me. I believe I'm bigger and better than the problem in hand. Is it a problem? Well, you know, my head of HR seemed to think it might be a problem I'll walk into. That was nice of her to tell me that. But, you know, that's said with a bit of sarcasm, by the way. But, you know, I think it's something that I've got to think about how I manage at the beginning of meetings. So I have a strategy, which is really just to talk about it straight up. If I walk into a meeting, if it is a face-to-face, or if it's a Zoom face-to-face meeting, or a Teams face-to-face meeting, then I'll start by saying, guys, just before we start, if you don't mind, let me just explain a couple of things. I'm not long recovered from cancer treatment and surgery earlier this year. Unfortunately, I have some facial paralysis, which is in recovery stage and may still be recovering for another year. However, as a result, if there's anything you don't understand that I say or anything that concerns you at all about the way I'm saying it or how I'm coming across, please don't be afraid just to mention anything. Don't feel uncomfortable. It's totally cool. So I'm bringing it up now. So I think the strategy is to really tackle it head on, overcome it within the first couple of seconds or minutes within the meeting, and relax the people I'm talking to. So that, and I'm also going to say to them, by the way, feel free to ask me any questions you like. If there's anything you want to know or you're curious, absolutely cool with being open about it. So I'm not afraid to talk about it. So please don't you be either. So I just want to relax everybody that I'm meeting. And I think that was a suggestion by my sister, and I'm really grateful for that suggestion. It's generally how I've handled things since I came out of treatment or came out of the surgery anyway. And I will apply that. I'm really, really grateful for that. And I think it's a great strategy. You know, I've now got 2.5 months at least before I go back to work to really recover, get my head in a great place, to get myself healthy, put on a bit of weight as well, because I've lost a fair amount of weight. Since the swelling's gone down in my face from the radiotherapy, I've suddenly noticed how thin I am. My face is so thin. Anyway, I've gone down to about 32 waist. I was a comfortable 34 before. So yeah, I've got some weight to put back on, which is nice because I like my food. But I don't want to get too big. The life I'm going to live from here on in is certainly going to be a healthy one. So, I don't envisage getting even as big as I was before. I wasn't that big, but I was getting chunky, put it that way. So, yeah, looking forward to a leaner, healthier life. And just looking forward to some love, fun, enjoyment, and really not necessarily putting this all behind me, because I don't know if it ever can be. But I think I'm just looking forward to the next phase of my life. I've got some exciting plans, exciting times ahead, and looking forward to working more with the Swallows to fundraise for them and to maybe help some more other head and neck cancer patients if I can. There's a lot I've learned about myself, about life, about people, and there's been a lot of really amazing life golden nuggets that I've discovered through this journey. It's been a horrendous ordeal. I can't get away from that. The surgery, the build up to the surgery, post-surgery, the build up to radiotherapy, the radiotherapy. It's been a long old exercise. But what I've really uncovered about myself and so much about life and people, I think more about myself actually, has been phenomenal. Sorry. It's been phenomenal. I thought I knew myself before. I know myself better than I ever have done. And it's strangely really set me up for the rest of my life in a way that I could never have imagined. My ordeal has, I don't know, in some way made things right. I can't explain it. It's really quite hard to explain, but it brought me to the surface, the real me. It's kind of shaken off anything bad that I had in me. I can't explain it any further. It's purified me. It's absolutely purified me. It's purified my heart. It's purified my head. It's given me an outlook on life that I think I might have told myself before I had anyway, but no, I didn't. And more than ever before, I know what's important, what's valuable, what's not, what's worth the effort, what's not, what's worth the time. And also, what's worth the time, that doesn't mean, from the point of view of, that anything that's not worth time, don't invest time on it. It's also what's worth time that I wouldn't have put time into before. I've discovered new areas of life that are worth putting a little bit of time into, that take no effort at all. My empathy and understanding levels have shot up to a level I never had before. Look, I'm starting to waffle really, but it's a nice place to be, I guess. I know recovery for some people can be quite tricky. It's that, well, radiotherapy's done, I should feel better now, and I don't feel better. And I seem to have had a week only of peaking, and the peak is now declining this week, that's for sure. But look, I'll do another podcast next Sunday, let you know how I'm getting on. But that's my end of week 1 or 9 days into recovery from radiotherapy podcast. I'll chat to you next week.